This week on Big Red's Cooking, we make Lusknikn. Hi guys, this is Big Red. And if you didn't recognize that intro I just did, that's me introducing myself in Mi'kmaq. I haven't talked about it a lot on this channel, but I'm actually from Mi'kmaq heritage. My mom grew up making sure that we are well aware of our ancestry and that we grew up really proud of our heritage, and it's been something that's always been a part of me. One of my big things that I've been doing a lot of in the last few years is I've been trying to take traditional foods and updating them. Some traditional foods just don't need any updating at all. And what I've got for you this week is I've got Lusknikn. So this is probably better known as bannock across the country. Bannock is something that, there's been arguments as to whether it's a traditional Aboriginal food or not. And I tend to take a more liberal view of what is tradition. Is it pre-colonial? Definitely not. But this is something that would have been adapted, as particularly from my research anyhow, when the Scots first started coming over. And this is really, really similar to a scone and other baking powder biscuits and things like that. And this, so it hasn't been around since pre-colonial times, no, but it's been around for hundreds of years. And for a lot of Aboriginal people, it is, an essential part of their diet. So I say, so for Mi'kmaq, it's called Lusknikn. So this is a really, really simple recipe. I'm not going to talk about it too much more here right now. As always, let's go ahead and jump on over to our workbench. We'll pick up over there. So there really isn't too much to putting this together. We're going to start off by sifting together our dry ingredients. So I'm going to need 2 cups of flour to get started with. Alright, next I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Alright, and after that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, half teaspoon of salt, what I do is I like to use a whisk to sort of pull all my dry ingredients together first. And what this is going to mean is that I don't have to worry about having clumps of baking powder or having clumps of salt or sugar. And it's also going to loosen up my flour a little bit for me and make it a little easier for it to absorb that liquid that I need. Alright, next I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil. I just got good old-fashioned vegetable oil here. And then we need a cup of liquid. Now you can either use all water. I'm actually going to use half and half water and milk. But if you don't use milk, don't use any. I think the milk gives a little bit of a softer texture. And there's a reason for that, is that milk actually has a lot of sugar into it. If you look at your calorie content for milk, more calories from sugar than almost anything else into it. And there's some fat in there as well. And fat and sugar are both tenderizers when it comes to baked goods. So we're just going to take this, we're going to mix this into a dough. I like to use a rubber spatula. We want to make sure I can scrape my sides clean. That keeps my hands clean as well. One thing we don't want to do is we don't want to overmix this too much. We're basically trying to pull together a dough. But the less we mix, the less gluten we're going to actually develop, and the more tender of a product we're actually going to have. And so this is basically just a quick bread, what we would call quick breads in our kitchen. So you can see I got a nice sort of dough here now. I'm just going to take this now. Again, I've got my cast iron pan here. If you've watched any of my videos before, I love to cook in cast iron. But you can use almost any sort of baking pan you want. A flat sheet pan will work, or a greased baking dish, no problem. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to flatten it out a little bit, because this is going to rise. We got that baking powder in there, so this will give us, we are going to get some rising on this. So we want to sort of flatten it out a little bit. I like to have it just under an inch thick and less than 2 centimeters. And we'll go ahead and we're going to pop this into an oven at about 400 degrees. And that's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to set it for 20 minutes. And we'll check on it then. And if we think we need a little bit more time, no problem to add a little extra. A whole lot harder to take it away. So we'll check back again in a few minutes now. Alright, so our timer's going off. Let's have a quick look at this here. Get a cloth. Let's see how this Lusknikn is doing. It's looking pretty good. It's got some nice color, but I want it to go a little darker, so I think we're going to go closer to the 25 minutes that I think it's going to take. So we're going to go ahead and pop this back in for another few minutes. Alright, so our timer's ready to go off here again. It's been about another 5 minutes. Shut that off so we don't have to hear the beep. And let's have a look at this here now. Yeah, that's much closer to the color I like to see. So you can see this is nice and golden brown here on top now. Now let's have a look at our bottom. Yeah, beautiful color on the bottom. You can see it's got that nice golden brown color. You can see our top there. So you know what? As always, let's go jump on over to our main bench and we'll give this a little taste. I think it's going to be really tasty. Alright, so our Lusknikn is out of the oven and it just smells fantastic and I can't wait to try this. And I've actually got some of my wild raspberry jam here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this open. I love jam on my Lusknikn. So let's go ahead and just take a nice little piece of this. And it's just basically a quick bread, you know. It's known as bannock across the country, and you know, it's not much different than a baking powder biscuit that other people may have grown up with. Raspberry jam is just fantastic with it. So you can see this is a really simple thing to make. And it's a great way of connecting with your Mi'kmaq heritage. You know, it's something I'm really proud of. And something I grew up with. Didn't grow up eating Lusknikn, but I did grow up being very proud of my Mi'kmaq heritage. And I'm glad I can actually share this with you. So I hope to do some more recipes like this in the future. And if there's anything that you would love for me to be able to make, you know, please let me know. Leave me a comment on my posts. Please go ahead and share this around. You know, I love cooking with wild foods and wild ingredients. And as our summer comes, once the summer gets here and there's more ingredients that are available, I'll definitely be doing that. If you've not seen my video yet for fireweed jelly, you know, obviously it's not in season right now, but it's a great one to go back and look at, and that's another one of my favorite wild foods. And like I say, and I've got some great plans for the summer. So I'll say Namotas for now. We'll see you soon. I hope you're enjoying some great food. Bye for now.